Hey, what is going on, everybody? Let's get the music off. All right, how is everyone's weekend? Is anyone out there planning on doing some sourcing today? The weekends are usually the best time, in my opinion, to go out sourcing because that's when most of the sales and discounts and things like that are kicking in. So yeah, let me know in the comment section if you plan on going out sourcing today. Also, let me know. So we're gonna do some live sourcing here. Let me know in the comments section, whether you're watching over there on YouTube or over here on Facebook. Let me know in the comment section one brand of shoes or clothing, preferably shoes, but I'm okay with clothing, that you know that you can sell. Like you're ungated in it, you've sold it before, you're fine selling this particular brand. Let me know in the chat because I'm going to try to do something here that's a little bit more interactive with chat. So, welcome to, I believe this is day number 8 for our 15 days of sourcing. Basically, I'm coming on every single day for 15 days, barring some family stuff that came up yesterday. But we're going on live. Well, it's not always live. Sometimes I do a larger form content in the Facebook group. But I'm going on every day to source something for you guys and show you guys how you can find it. I feel like getting better at sourcing is, for the most part, the number one bottleneck for sellers. Even experienced sellers, like even 6 and 7 figure sellers, will always want to get better at sourcing. It's like the most key pivotal part to your Amazon business. You make your money on your buy. You don't make your money prepping. You don't make your money doing administrative tasks. You make your money buying good products. So that should always be the focus of your business. And that should always be something that you strive to continue to improve and learn upon. So we're doing all of these live sourcing sessions here with you guys. We've got about a week left of this, and this is all leading up to our Q4 Sourcing Camp. Q4 Sourcing Camp is an online, think of it sort of like an e-conference where there's a couple hundred sellers that all get together, and these are, for the most part, they're active, serious sellers. We're okay with beginners coming in as long as you are like serious about Amazon and you don't mind putting in the work. But there's going to be a few hundred serious sellers that all get together and we just source together. We have a couple different, we call them camp counselors, that come in and they do breakout sessions with us because everyone has a different style or method of sourcing. If someone tells you, oh, my way is the best way, well, they're full of it because there is no best way. There's a million ways to make $1 million on Amazon. I know a lot of ways, but I don't know all the ways. I don't know everything about Amazon. And so I'm bringing in 22 other 6, 7, and 8 figure annual active Amazon sellers. So we're not talking like gurus. We're talking people who are actually running an Amazon business are coming in to source for us. Basically, think of it like you're going to go to the stores with these people and watch over their shoulder and pick their brains while they're doing it and all of that stuff. So that's sort of the main portion of Sourcing Camp, and that's why I'm doing all of these live free sessions with you guys to kind of give you a taste of what some of them might be like. And we're going to dive into a bunch of different types of sourcing. Some people ask like, oh, is this for OA or is it for RA or is it for A to A? And yes, it's for all of those. All of those are methods of sourcing, and we will be doing all of those during Sourcing Camp. We have breakout sessions for just about everything that you could possibly imagine, okay? So if you're interested in that, there is a QR code up here floating around in the air. Feel free to scan that anytime or just ask in the comment section as I'm going along. Okay? All right. Now, for today's session, I am going to be doing some Amazon to Amazon flips. Amazon to Amazon flips is predominantly, it's probably become the largest portion of our business in the past year or so. It's had the most growth for us. People ask like, oh, what percentage are you doing this or what percentage of that? Right now, the largest percentage is Amazon to Amazon stuff. It's new, it's exciting for me. I find that it's relatively easy and simple to get into. There's a couple nuances that you'll need to learn, and we're going to be diving into that here in Sourcing Camp, like really going deep on the stuff. But just like dabbling in it is very simple and very easy. So I'm going to show you guys how to do a little bit of Amazon to Amazon flipping. But again, I want your help because I want to do this with you and specifically for some of the people who are here watching live. So let me know in the chat or in the comment section, what is one brand of shoe or one brand of clothing that you know that you are ungated in? Because I want to help find something specifically that the people here sitting live could actually flip and source right now as this is going on. Okay. All right. Let me share my screen here and we will dive into this A to A flipping. So in case you're unfamiliar with Amazon to Amazon flipping, It is exactly what it sounds like. Instead of going to like a retail store, like instead of going to Kohl's.com or Walmart.com and buying something for cheap and then selling it on Amazon, we are going to Amazon and we are finding something cheap and we are flipping that. There's lots of different ways that you can do Amazon to Amazon flipping. I mean, like lots and lots of different ways. There's no one specific method that works best or that you should always do. You should be familiar with all of the different ways of doing Amazon to Amazon flipping and then do whatever clicks for you. If you find something that's working, stick with it. All right. I'm going to show you a specific method. So I'm going to, for this video, I'm going to give you guys one free preset that I use for my Keepa to do Amazon to Amazon flipping. Now, the people who are coming to Sourcing Camp, you will get all of my presets, and I'm actually putting together quite a few more A to A presets that you can just click on a button and it'll boom take you right into a Keepa page that's going to be showing you a bunch of deals. So I'm going to be giving that to you guys for free who are coming to Sourcing Camp. I'll give you guys one here if you are watching it. So let me do this. KPF Zappos 40% off. So basically what I've done is I've input some settings here to the Keepa product finder. If you're unfamiliar with this, you go to Keepa, which hopefully everyone here is using. This is by far the most used and most needed. I'm not going to say it's required to sell on Amazon because you can do it completely bare bones. You can build $1 million business with literally nothing. But this is as close as we get as far as like tools that you need. If you need a link to Keepa, if you don't have it, let me know. I'll shoot you over a link. And Keepa will buy my wife her next cup of coffee for sending you your link. But I pulled up Keepa here. Now we are using a lesser known portion of Keepa. Most of the time when you're using Keepa, you are using it to analyze a deal. So for example, if we go to Amazon here and we pull up this flashlight right here, you are going to see some data. Let me click on this real fast. So normally how people use Keepa, and if you utilize Keepa this way, you're doing great. This is about 80 to 90% of how most people are utilizing Keepa. So if you've got this down, awesome. You're not like behind the ball or anything like that. I am going to show you something quite a bit more advanced and interesting, but at a basic level, this is Keepa. We can see here that Keepa is these graphs right here. We can see the price history, historically, what is this selling for? We can see the historical sales rank. So the pink line right here is what it's been selling for. That's the buy box. The green line is the sales rank. So this is how much it's selling. All right. And then down here, we can see how many other people are selling it and review counts and things like that. So there's lots of interesting historical data. And this is all great and useful. And you should be utilizing this for most products that you purchase. But for today, we're utilizing a completely different portion of Keepa. And that is their Keepa product finder, often called KPF. In the Keepa product finder, so if we go to keepa.com, click on data, and then click on product finder, the first thing that you are going to see when you click on all of that, you're going to come to this page right here. And you can input all sorts of different settings into here to look at stuff. If you input nothing, it will literally pull up every single product that's on Amazon, like every single one. And there are billions on Amazon, okay? So we don't care to look at all billion or whatever products that are on Amazon. We're trying to narrow this down to things that we think are profitable, things that we think are selling, things that we think we can probably sell, like they're not like random private label products or things like that. So we input a couple settings in order to find something specific that we are looking for today. Now, again, there are 1,000 different ways that you can pull these different levers and input different settings to find different types of products. And a good general bit of practice that you can start to implement is take an item that you currently have for sale that you bought and it's profitable, and then try to reverse engineer how could you have found that product using the Keepa product finder. What settings and what levers could you have input in order to find that specific product that you are currently profitably selling? And if you can figure out how to reverse engineer that, start making that a habit and start to reverse engineer everything. And you're going to start to build out this repertoire of settings that you can utilize. Again, I'm going to give you guys, if you're coming to Sourcing Camp, I'm going to give you a bunch of settings for free that you can use as a starting point. But just as a good tip of practice, start utilizing that. Start reverse engineering stuff. So for today, I'm going to click on this Show Active Filters button to show you what we've got going on. For today, we are looking for things where the buy box, the 1 day drop, so the buy box is the price of the item. The 1 day drop is at least 40%. So comparing today to yesterday, it's 40% less today. Whether that's a sale, whether someone's liquidating it, whether there's an error, it doesn't matter. It's just today's price is 40% less than what yesterday's price. Okay. I also input a seller ID, okay? Under this section here, you can specifically search a seller ID storefront, and not only can you look in someone's storefront, but then you can narrow down their items. You can use the Keep a Product Finder on a storefront. Again, something we're going to be diving into during sourcing camp to go really deep. But just to give you a little taste, you can do that on a person's storefront, and you can still use all of these filters inside of a storefront or a couple storefronts. Okay, so I input this storefront. This storefront is the Zappos storefront. Zappos is a massive clothing retailer. It was actually acquired by Amazon. So Amazon technically owns Zappos. Zappos has their own website and they also sell on Amazon. Usually they're the same price, though not always. So we input that in and that. For this specific situation, that's literally the only two settings that I have set up. Okay, so we're looking for something today. It dropped by 40%. And it's Zappos. That's the seller who's selling it, okay? So just with those settings, we found, let's see, yeah, you can see that. We found 166 products, okay? Now, I'm curious. I'm gonna look in the chat. I'm gonna see if we can find something specific that someone here can sell. So I asked you guys earlier to give me a brand that you know that you are allowed to sell. So I'm going to add one more setting here on the live video. And let's see. Valentina said she can sell Nike. Let's see if there are any Nike listings. Okay, we don't have any Nike. Someone else said Under Armour. Let's check for Under Armour. Oh, no Under Armour either today. And this changes literally every 24 hours. So if you strike out today, come back tomorrow. Let me see if there's anything else. Adidas. And honestly, guys, I mean, this is a live video. We might completely... Oh, there we go. We got a couple Adidas. Okay, so Valentina and Jeanette. They can source Adidas products. Let's see. There's 4 products here that are Adidas products. We've got a skort. And then 3 pairs of shorts. Okay. Now, when I hover my mouse over this, unfortunately, here, let me see if I can move my face. Here, I'll try to do this so you can kind of see it a little bit. When I hover my mouse over this, we can see these Keep It charts. What I am looking for when I hover my mouse over these is I'm looking for something where historically it's way up here at a pretty stable, consistent price. And for whatever reason, today it's super low. So this, for example, I see historically, it looks like this is selling for between like 55 and 75. And for whatever reason, today it's $32. So let me click on this and we're going to run this through our calculator. I'll make it a little bit bigger here for us again. I'm going to run this through our calculator and let's see if we can do this. Ooh, it's actually, the prices changes a little bit. The Keep It data usually lags behind just slightly. So I see it was $32 just a couple moments ago. I wonder if we can find it here or if it's sold out already or if they've just changed the price. Yeah, it looks like they have already changed the price back up to 56. We'll see if it works with 56. If not, we'll move on to the next one. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to use, this is the free Nepeto calculator. When possible, when I'm talking to sellers out there, especially beginner sellers, I always like to show you the free options that are out there because that's really where you should be starting. Instead of paying for a bunch of fancy schmancy tools, start with what's free, and then if you want to upgrade later, you can. Or honestly, a lot of times like the Nepeto calculator, it's pretty darn good. Okay, so let me just input this stuff. Our cost is going to be $56.69 because we're buying this from Amazon. But let's glance down here at the historical normal price. Normally, for the past about 3 months, it's been selling for 50. Maybe if we pull it out like last year around Christmas time, it was 75. Honestly, though, since the price has jumped back up to 58, I'll probably pass on this and we'll just go on to the next one. Okay. It's good. When you find a product, don't try to figure out how to make it profitable. If it's not profitable, move on. Part of getting better at sourcing is getting better at stopping. Like when you see certain red flags or when you see certain signs like, okay, it's not worth my time to try to make this product profitable, Let me move on to the next product. Okay. All right. Next up, we've got this pair of shorts. They're priced at $32.61. Let's see the Keepa chart. Usually, yeah, this is another one. It was just down there at 18, but has popped back up. Let me see. These are all the same. Let me check the variations tab down here real fast. We might strike out here with Adidas, folks. I might have to just use a different example since this is a live video. All right, current price. Okay, it looks like we might have one that's still available for 18. Ah, no, even that. They popped back up on us. All right, so unfortunately, thus is the nature of trying to do a live video. Unfortunately, that Adidas example didn't work. Let me see if there's anything else. Yeah, we tried Under Armour. We tried that. Excluding generic. Yeah, that's a good setting to always have in there because you can put negative like for the brand. So we could put, we're going to take those off, those off, those off. You could put is none of generic. All right, pop that in. Zappos, I don't believe Zappos sells anything that's generically branded, but just in case, it's a good thing to check anyways. All right. So we've got a couple other shoes. You guys can check this for yourself. Go ahead and actually do a quick search. Like if you have your computer handy, pull up Seller Central, see if you can sell Sorel, S-O-R-E-L, or Vionic, or Cole Haan. Haan is with 2 A's, or Tommy Hilfiger. Go ahead and check for me, folks. Check those 4 brands. If there's any one of those 4 brands that you can sell, let me know, and I'll try to pull something up specific to that. If I don't see anything in chat, I'm just going to go ahead and start looking through these to see if I find anything interesting. Okay. Let's see. This first one looks like today is 50. It's usually between 75 and 125. That's interesting. So let's check. All right. So I could buy this today for $75. Let's look at the historical Keepa chart right here. Also, guys, if you have any questions about what I'm doing, questions about sourcing in general, questions about sourcing camp, random issues that you're dealing with, maybe your sales say $0 and you're freaking out and you're like, oh my gosh, what do I do? Write it in chat. I'm here to help. Okay. All right. Looks like normally, yeah, today's price is 48 and it pops down to 48 occasionally, but it looks like normally this is usually priced about 90, 95, sometimes up to 100, sometimes 130. What was it last Q4? Last Q4, this was like always 130, but ever since about May, it's been coming down, kind of discounted. So I'm going to say reasonably, I think I could expect to sell this for between 90 and 95 as sort of like our medium case scenario. Best case would be 140, or sorry, 130. Worst case would be it tanks or something. I don't really see this consistently tanking and then staying down low. I see it lowering, but then popping back up a couple times. But I think you could reasonably sell this between 90 and 95. So let's run the numbers with that. So if we can buy this, our buy cost here is 55. Oh, sorry, 75, 55. Wait, why is it? Did this just jump up on us too? Yeah, it was just 48. Zappos must have literally like just changed their repricer in the last like 5 minutes since we pulled this up. Usually the data is pretty accurate. It lags behind about 15 minutes. So they must have literally just changed their prices. Let's find another one here, folks. Sorry about that. All right, $27. I think that's what we were looking at. Yeah, $27 right now. This says the 90-day average is 54, so I'll go along with that. We'll pull up the Keepa chart just so we can glance at this. Yeah, historically it's usually about $59.99. Okay, let's check it. So today, 27. Yeah. All right, $27, and usually $59.99. So if we bought this today, and with reasonable assurity, we can see that historically this pretty much always is selling for $60. Yes, sometimes it pops down. I see one pop down there for 30, one pop down there for 30, a couple small dips for various sales and things, but historically, almost always this is selling for 60. I know with pretty good certainty that we could sell this for 60. Okay. So is it profitable? Yes. That's the first thing. Is it selling? We're looking at this green Keepa chart. Yeah, it's selling. There's a couple random blips where it was like unmerged with the parent listing. You can ignore massive spikes like this. Those are mostly irrelevant. But yeah, it's selling well. If you really want to get into it, you can like dive into the variations and do all that. Usually, if I'm just buying one or two of something, I don't do that much research because I'm very confident that one or two of these will sell within the next 2 or 3 months. But if you would like, you can do further research. I think people tend to over analyze and over research things, especially when they're just going wide instead of deep. So this is a common color, like it's navy with a red logo. That's a very common color. This is going to be one of the better selling ones. So I like this. This would be something that I would be buying if I were not doing a live video here with you guys. So you buy it today for $27. By the time it gets to you, the price probably has already jumped back up to that $59.99. Even if it hasn't, by the time you pack it and prep it and ship it back in, and it takes it 2 or 3 weeks or whatever to get to Amazon, and then it goes live in like a month from now, most likely, based on all of the data that we have here, there's a very, very, very high chance that the price will have normalized and gone back to $59.99. So that's sort of the basics of doing Amazon to Amazon flipping. We did it right here from our seat. Granted, the prices have changed on some things, so it took us a little bit longer, but I mean, we've only been here, what, 10 minutes looking for an item, 15 minutes looking for this item, and we found it. And that's just one single variation. If there are other variations that are selling well, let's see here. So this one's going for 27. This one's going for 30, and we see historically it's the same kind of a thing. It's usually about 55 to 60, okay? If you buy it for 30, sell it for 55, you should be making profit. This one, that's a little bit lower. If you buy it for 30 and sell it for 47, there's probably not quite as much profit. This one, there should be some profit on that one. This one, there should be some profit on this one. This one, actually, Amazon is telling us 50 plus of this specific variation have sold in the last 30 days. And you can see here, it's very consistently $60. So 50 of these have sold at that $60 price point. So this would be an easy one. Yeah, I mean, you don't even have to run the calculations on this. You buy this for 36, you sell it for 60. It's a lower ROI. I mean, we're only looking at 21% or just under $8 profit. But stuff like flip-flops, they're so easy to prep. You don't need a box for flip-flops. Returns, specifically to flip-flops, returns tend to be very low compared to things like dress shoes or sporting shoes. People with flip-flops, they just don't bother returning them. It's just one of the, like, I've bought plenty of pairs of flip-flops that I don't use that like didn't fit me. I just didn't bother returning them. It's just one of those things people tend to return significantly less. So yeah, definitely lots of different options here that we can sort of rabbit trail off of just off this second listing. All right, let me check after finding that item, set up a keep a price tracker for future. Yes. All right, let me try one of these Sorel or Sorel listings. Let's see, usually about 100, today 52, usually about 125, today about 50. I actually like this one a little bit more. Let's check this one out. All right, we'll try this one. Again, if you guys have comments, questions, issues, anything, put them in the chat. You've got me for a couple more minutes here where I can help you with whatever issues you're dealing with and try to help you source better. All right. This does show an IP alert. Now, this is a very common misconception. A lot of beginners, even I've seen medium-sized sellers have this misconception too. They see this little red bar, or they're using IP alert, or they're using SellerAmp or something, and it's showing them this red IP flag, and they take that to mean you cannot sell this product. That is not what that means. A better way to think about this is sort of like a blinking yellow light rather than a red stoplight. Blinking yellow means like, hey, caution, yield. There might be something crazy going on. There might be a fire truck trying to crash into this intersection. So just slow down and look both ways before you continue on through. Okay. So I do see this. The way to sort of look left and look right in our traffic analogy is the brand on the listing? Is Sorel selling this? No, it's Zappos and a couple other people are selling this. Okay. And then historically, are there multiple other sellers selling this? And yeah, I see usually there's about 2, sometimes 3 sellers selling this. And I don't believe any of them are sorrel. So that's me looking left. That's me looking right. I don't have any qualms selling this. And even if they do send you something, which they could, they might send you a nasty letter. They might try to tell you, oh, you get off the listing. You're not authorized to sell this. That's not true. That's not a thing. There's a law in America called the First Sale Doctrine, which basically says if you buy a product, that product is yours to do or sell however you wish. So as soon as you buy this product, you are allowed to then resell this. You do not have to be authorized to sell the product in order to legally be allowed to sell it. Now, can brands fight dirty? Can they do things they're legally not allowed to do in order to try to kick you off? Yeah, sure. But I don't really see that happening here. I don't see any evidence that that is happening. What I do see evidence of is one person in 2021 received a letter in their mail that told them to stop selling this, and nothing else happened. That to me doesn't worry me in the least. Okay. All right. Let's check profitability on this real fast, and then I'll jump in for some questions. Oops. That's not what I want to click. There we go. Let's pull up Nepeto on this. Okay, so our cost here is $50. Now, the average 30-day and 90-day, Nepeto actually says it right here in this. The average 30-day price is $80. So let's use that. Let's see what that's looking like. 32% ROI, $16 profit. Nice, I like that. I would say this is sort of like our low to medium case scenarios. Our best case scenario is we can sell it for $99 and we're making 67% ROI or $33. So either of those scenarios I like. Obviously, when I send this in, I'll probably price it at $99 and then adjust as needed. But yeah, this looks solid to me. I would flip this. Is it profitable? Yes. Is it selling? Yes. So we're good to go there. There's 2 easy products that I found here live for you guys. Hopefully you can sell something. If you want my filters, so again, if you missed this part, we use the Keepa product finder. Whoops, sorry about that. We've got some sad kiddos here. I put in 2 settings here. We got the 1-day drop of 40%, and we put in the seller ID. There it is. We put in this seller ID, which is Zappos. If you want to know how to find that seller ID, you can, let me exit out of this. You can click on Zappos right here. And that actually takes you to the website. If I pull this up in Keepa, it'll give you the their little store code that you can punch into Keepa. All right, let's see, Zappos, here we go. I'll open this up in Keepa. This right here in your URL bar, this is their seller ID number, okay? So you just take that and you punch that right down there, okay? That's all we did to find these products. There's 164 products that should be fairly profitable, if not right on the verge of being profitable. And that should be pretty quick and easy for you to go through. So yeah. That's some Amazon to Amazon sourcing for you guys. We've had a couple people requesting more A2A sourcing, so hopefully that helps. All right, we've got a QR code up here for Sourcing Camp. If you guys are interested in more content like this, Sourcing Camp is coming up. It's starting on September 6th. We're going to run it for 10 days, so it's September 6th through the 15th. Every single day, there's going to be 4 to 6 hours of breakout sessions with various other active, successful sellers who, it's not just going to be like fluffy, hypey, hoorah, yeah, I can overcome anything and you can too. There's a time and a place for that. And I feel like that's what most conferences I attend end up being. It just kind of pumps you up, but then there's not actually any, like there's no meat and potatoes. It's all the dessert. Okay. Sourcing Camp is meat and potatoes where let's get out there and let's actually do some sourcing together. Let's bring in active sellers and let's have them actually source, and let's get the products that they're sourcing so you can use those, you can buy those, you can flip those. You should be able to pay for the entire event just with the items that we source during the event. But really the idea is to get equipped to get better at sourcing. Someone actually just posted today in our Facebook group, like they feel like they're proud, and they're sort of like, they don't want to admit that they need help sourcing. And they're like, well, of all of those people who are doing Sourcing Camp and speaking at Sourcing Camp, I'm sure that most of them taught themselves, so I can too. And what's interesting is, yeah, we all did teach ourselves. And also, almost all of us have attended events like this and have networked with other sellers to also learn. Even still, I'm networking, I'm attending events, I'm connecting with other sellers. I host the event, but I'm not speaking during every single one. I will frequently watch the replays of past sourcing camps to relearn some new tricks, to pull out golden nuggets from other sellers. I don't know everything. We have a 7-figure business, but there is so much stuff that I can still learn, that I can still glean. And when you're doing things at scale, all I need is one little tip. So like I see in Facebook, Everyday Unicorns is in here. He was sharing this tip about like pricing your items instead of pricing it at like $11, price it at $9.99 and you'll make more money based on some fee breakpoints. And I always knew conceptually that that was a thing, but that was one of those things where it's like, I just kind of blew over that. I kind of forgot about it when I'm doing my repricing and all of that. It's like, oh yeah, that is really important. Oh yeah, I could actually specifically look for people who don't know about that rule, find products that are priced at $11, and understand that if I can buy it and sell it for $9.99, I will both steal the buy box from them and also make more money than them based on how the fee structure changes when you're below certain breakpoints. So yeah, there's so much stuff that you can learn from other sellers, even if you already know a lot. So we put this event on. I don't say like, oh, this is for beginners or oh, this is for advanced sellers. I'm sort of changing it and I just say this is for serious sellers. We have a lot of 6 and 7-figure sellers that come to these camps to learn. Beginners are welcome to join, and we always have a lot of beginners as well, as long as you are serious about this. I don't want beginners who are just kind of dabbling. It's like, oh, I don't know what to do. Maybe I'll spend all this money for the sourcing camp that I'm never going to implement and I'm never going to actually do or utilize the stuff that I'm learning. I mean, if that's you, then okay, save your money. I don't know, go buy more inventory, go make some mistakes first. But if you're serious about this, if you want to sort of like drink from the fire hose and you want to learn from other sellers and get better, check out Sourcing Camp. All right. Okay. Let me check the chat real fast, see if we have any questions or issues. Also, let me know, guys. So in Sourcing Camp, obviously the main event is active sellers coming in to do sourcing breakout sessions with us. But I'm personally recording a lot of bonus videos. I've filled my little notebook here. I've got my Sourcing Camp hat, got my Sourcing Camp notebook. I've filled an entire double page of bonus sessions that I would like to record or put together or formulate for you guys to help you with other stuff. Okay. I mean, I've got a bajillion things listed here already, but if you have specific things that you want to learn more about or issues you want insight on, or like, for example, I've got, in the last sourcing camp, someone was asking like, hey, can you sort of analyze like the argument of the fast nickel versus the slow dime and really like dive into that? Like, when is it better to do one over the other? Because a lot of people are like, oh yeah, you always should do the fast nickel, but are there times when the slow dime is better? So it's like, oh, I love that. So I made a whole video about that. We went in together, we analyzed it. We talked about when each one of them is better. We ran the math for everything. Yeah, we really dove in deep to some of these topics. So let me know in the comment section, what are some things that you are struggling with or things that you want to dive in deeper for? And we can get that added into Sourcing Camp as a bonus video. All right. Let me see. I know it's a Sunday afternoon. There's not a whole lot of people. People are with their kids or they're at church, things like that. Let me see if we've got any questions so far. Let's see. Yes, I love that tip about setting up a Keepa price tracker. That's something else that we'll cover at length during Sourcing Camp. All right, no questions over there. I don't see any questions here on YouTube. I'll leave this here for just a couple more seconds in case someone watching has any questions. Yeah, we've got Sourcing Camp coming up again. If you need a link to that, actually here, let me just throw that down in the comment section so that you have it. Here, I'll throw it over on YouTube for you folks watching the replay over there. And I will throw it over here into Facebook for you guys watching the replay over there. Real quick, let me run down a couple of the bonus sessions that I'm currently planning on doing. I don't want to bore you and list all of these, but we're going to do a couple like, would you buy this session? So like, here's a list of, say, I don't know, 5 or 10 products. We'll show you the Keepa charts, give you the data. And then we're going to talk through together as a group, would you buy this? Why or why not? I think it's important to do those types of exercises to do that type of homework, especially for early sellers who might not really know what to look for. Or just pick the brains of other people, because sometimes people can have different opinions about would they buy it, and both opinions are valid. And so it's interesting to get other people's insight. We're going to be breaking down all of the different settings. So presets to set up like Keepa, reprice your stuff. If you're using Asinzen, if you're using Nepeto, like what kinds of settings, tactical arbitrage, what kinds of settings do we have set up to streamline and fast track our processes and make that really clear. We're going to be putting in like administrative SOPs, Keepa SOPs, sourcing, like when you find a lead, sort of the standard operating procedures. That's what SOPs stand for. Standard operating procedures for, okay, you found a good lead. Now what do you do? So putting that all together in like an easy step-by-step format. Talking about returnuary, that's January, what to do there. Repricing tips. Coupon stacking, store manager contact ideas and tips, doing a whole session about that. Reverse engineering leads, like if you see a lead, how do you sort of reverse engineer that? Money pit breakpoints, MSQ organizational systems, PPC campaigns, Black Friday sale talk, talking about ODTR, some issues with that. How to storefront stock your favorite content creator. Like I'm going to show you how you can find one of our stores, and then also show you how to find some other people's stores, and you can sort of judge for yourself. Okay, is this person blowing smoke up your butt? Are they lying to you about what they're doing? So we're using the in the sense of content creators, but we're going to show you how to find anybody. Creating workflows for yourself, budgeting and forecasting for the future, like how much money to set aside for things, what kind of budget can you expect 3, 4, 5 months down the road, all of that stuff. A ChatGPT custom assistant. We've actually programmed an entire ChatGPT for Amazon sellers. It's only available right now for the people who go to Sourcing Camp, but it's a really cool tool that we've put together. So we took ChatGPT and then we basically trained it on all of my knowledge, and we've uploaded SOPs. We uploaded like for example, uploading IP claim. Like if Amazon sends you an IP claim and they say, hey, you need to write us a letter, like prove that this wasn't you. We've uploaded all of that data into our self-coded ChatGPT. So if you ask it like, hey, can you write me one of these like appeal letters? It's like, oh yeah, here you go. Boom. Like what product are you selling? What's the ASIN? What are some issues about it? It just types it out for you. So really, really useful stuff. All right. I don't see any other questions or comments here. Oh, here we got one on YouTube. When do you think a prep center is appropriate? Whenever you can no longer prep for yourself. A prep center will cost you more money than prepping for yourself. So do understand that. Just my own experience, it costs us about, I mean, some things are a little bit more, lots of things are a lot less, but on average, I'd say it costs us about 50 cents per unit to prep something in-house. So that's me. Well, it's actually even less if it's me personally, but that would be me like hiring, say, a high school student for like minimum wage, bringing them over. We've got our products in garage, bring that student over, they print a sticker, they polybag it, they box it up, they ship it off, all of that stuff. So my cost for the labels, the boxes, that high schooler to come over and do all of that, on average, it costs me about 50 cents per unit. On average, a prep center will cost you about $1.50 per unit, but you don't have to handle any of that stuff. And you can, for the most part, grow infinitely. It would be unusual that you would like outgrow a prep center. That would be very unlikely. But it allows for some growth. So there's not necessarily like a time when it's appropriate. Most prep centers will want you to have a minimum amount that you are shipping to them, because it's just not worth their time to like talk to you and teach you their systems if you're only going to send them like one product a month. But if you're selling, most places will have, I don't know, like a 100 to 200 unit per month minimum. So if you're going every couple days and you're buying 10, 20 units every couple days, I think it's time where you could reasonably start utilizing a prep center. We've got some prep centers that we've used that we really like. It's people we like. We've got discounts. People that are going to Sourcing Camp, if they reach out to these prep centers, you'll get your first, whatever, like, I don't know, 100, 200 units, whatever it is, prepped for free. So there's lots of discounts and stuff like that available to Sourcing Camp members. But yeah, really it's when you no longer have the time, when it's costing you money to prep for yourself. Like if you're spending all your time prepping instead of going out to buy, you make your money on the purchase. You don't make your money prepping stuff. So when you reach the point where it's like, okay, you know what? I can't spend my own time, or I don't want to hire somebody off the street to come into my house to do this for me. All right, you use a prep center and utilize them. So, all right, hopefully that helps, Eric. All right, that's all the questions that I see here. So I will see you guys tomorrow. We're going to be doing these live sourcing sessions every day for the next, we got about one more week of this. Either it'll be a live video or I will make a post in our Facebook group. So facebook.com/groups/hustlebuddies. Sometimes I've just made really long form detailed posts instead of doing a live video, but